Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be putting these energy shields to the test to find out just how much protection they provide, how they function versus different types of weapons, and also how many shields do you need, if there is a number here, to make yourself virtually invincible. So if you are not very familiar with a shield generator, what it basically does is generates a half dome of a shield depending on which direction this mini replica of the shield is facing. And you have various settings to change like all of the shape of the shield too, which is pretty cool. But what I am here to find out is what exactly, what does this thing do? What does it actually do? I mean, we know it stops projectiles, but what are the actual quantifiable limitations of this thing? And then I will build a little test mechanism over here to fire projectiles. So we're gonna start with the most basic weapon to go up against a shield, an energy shield, which is the blaster. It is the newest weapon that has been introduced with energy shields, and it's probably what most people are gonna be defending against when they use energy shields. So the first test I wanna do is with a single energy shield. How many blaster projectiles does it actually protect you against? So here we go. Let's count them up. What? Oh, okay. Well, that is not what I was expecting. 0. The answer is 0. I think I was not far enough away. I'm gonna chalk it up to that being the thing. So that is interesting, though, isn't it? Was that the problem? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what? Oh, my bad. Okay, the shield generator is elevated here, but so now you can definitely see here there was a gap underneath. I was like, are some of the bullets getting through? What is going on? So let's change the vertical offset so there's definitely nothing sticking out of the bottom of the. What just happened? So the shield should definitely be protecting all angles. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24. Let's let it regenerate and let's experiment here. 2, 3. Okay, so the regeneration is important because as it regenerates, it does not have full health. So it only took 3 shots immediately after it regenerated. So let's give it a couple more seconds before I start shooting and see if it takes more than 3 shots. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was unexpected. I thought it was gonna take more the longer I waited. How long do I have to wait? Okay, so we can see if you look at the shield, it's a lot busier when it's regenerating. Let's see what happens when it regenerates more. Is it calming down? It looks like it's calming down. All right, I'm gonna try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Was it? Actually, I already forgot the initial number. So that was 21 bullets. I'm just gonna reconfirm the number of shots. All right, that's right. It was 24. So we got to 21 shots on that last regeneration. So it looks like it does regenerate and slowly gain more and more health. So the longer you let it regenerate, then the more shots it should take. Up until 24, which should be the full health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it seems to be pretty linear. I don't know how to precisely test this because we cannot see its health regenerating other than this visual indicator. So like right now, because it stopped doing all this wobbly thing, I'm assuming it's at full health. If I do 23 shots, how long do I have to wait before I have to do another 23 shots? You know what I mean? So what I'm really curious about that I'm trying to figure out how to test right now is if I do like 20 shots, is it just pretty much at a just lower health level that then immediately starts building up slowly? Or how long does it wait to start recharging health? So that takes 24 shots at that pace. So now what I want to do is I want to attach 24 blasters. All right, check out this backpack of blasters. So this is 24. So this should be a 1-shot shield gone, right? Here we go. All right, and it does appear that the shield blocked every single one of those bullets. But now, if I take away a single blaster, here's what I'm trying to figure out. Those 24 shots that I fired at the beginning, those were over the course of like, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. It was over the course of time. Was the shield slowly trying to regenerate health during that time, therefore increasing the total number of shots? Or does it not matter as long as you're providing a consistent interval of damage? Does the shield just have 0 regeneration? So if the shield was regenerating, that means that 24 is the maximum number of shots, and that if we do 23 shots instantly, it should still break the shield. So let's see if 23 shots kills it or no. Here we go. Okay, we had 2 things happen here. One is the shield survived, so the 23 shots were not enough all at once. And 2, a shot got through? That's the first time I've seen a shot go through. All right, let's try this again. I think it's fully regenerated. Here we go. Okay, that time no shots got through, but it does appear that taking your time destroying a shield doesn't let it recharge as you're shooting it, compared to just firing every shot at once. I'm sure that there has to be a certain amount of time without getting damaged before the regeneration starts to happen. All right, and then, oh, that is an interesting result there. I fired 46 shots and every single one of them got blocked. Like that is interesting because the shield does not have enough energy to stop 23 individual shots, but it has enough energy to stop one volley of 23 shots. I honestly wouldn't have expected that. So if you're doing shield battles, or battles where you have energy shields, you do not want your projectiles to fire simultaneously, because as you can see, if it has enough to stop one bullet, it has enough to stop all the bullets. So, all right, I have to put this to the test then. So I'm going from 24 to 48 shots. And the reason being is that we know one shield can take up to 24 shots. So I was only firing a maximum of 23 bullets at once. But now if I definitively fire more shots than even a full health shield is supposed to be able to tank, my hypothesis is that it'll tank every single one of these shots. 48 of them, because they all get fired at the same time. Here we go. There you have it. So it doesn't matter how many shots you fire, the shield will block all of them as long as they hit at the same time. I'm gonna choose just the top 2 rows here of guns, and I'm gonna put them on a delay of 0.1, so a 1/10 of a second delay. And now I think all of those shots are gonna get through and destroy this thing. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, maybe a 1/10 of a second is not enough. Wait, did I hold the button down long enough to do a 1/10 of a second? That may have been an issue. Let's let the shield come back. Ready? Okay, there we go. Yeah, as soon as another shot fires, the shield's gone. All right, one more quick test of that. Make sure only both rows fire once. Okay, here we go. 1/10 of a second delay. All right, I think we got more than 2. It's hard to click just a 1/10 of a second, but not more than a 1/10 of a second. All right, so we know that 24 bullets from a blaster is enough to destroy a shield. So eventually I want to get to a point where I'm going to layer the shields themselves and see if the regeneration of the shields can outpace the destruction rate of a blaster. Essentially making yourself completely invincible to at least a single blaster. How many shields do you need to be invincible to a blaster? And then we can extrapolate that to however many blasters your enemy has. But on our way to that test, I also want to see, how do other weapons stack up to shields when it comes to the resistance? Is every projectile equal, or does the actual damage of the projectile itself contribute to the number of projectiles a shield can block? So we've done the blaster. Now the smart cannon is different. It has a different fire rate than the blaster. I believe that the blaster is kind of in between damage-wise from a minigun and a smart cannon. No, it has more damage, I think, than a minigun, but less of a fire rate. All right, but here we go. Now we have smart cannon. How many bullets can it stop from a smart cannon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. What is going on? 7, 8, 9, 60, 61, 62, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 1, 2. All right. I just fired 72 bullets, I think. It was a little bit, there was a couple of spots where I double fired, but I tried to make sure I included them. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the blaster, if I fired the blaster immediately after it recharged, it only took 3 blaster bullets to disable the shield after it immediately regenerates. This one takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the blaster has like more than double the power. So we just confirmed different projectiles are treated differently with shields. Was it really 70 something? I'm gonna do one more test. Just try to confirm that it was like 72 or whatever. 8, 9, 70. All right, 70. I counted 70 that time and I felt a lot more confident in my counting ability that time. So I think 70 bullets, 24 blaster shots versus 70 of the tiny cannon. That is ridiculous. You can fire your entire clip. Look at how much, look at, what? That is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous. You can just, you have a fully charged smart cannon. A single smart cannon's like hardly ever gonna break through. Okay, how am I gonna do the minigun? The minigun is gonna be so hard to regulate. Oh, what if I can actually do this? I'm gonna have it fire for a duration of 1/100th of a second. I hope that's enough to only allow 1 bullet through, and it should automatically delay 1/3 of a second. Or it's not, it's just not working at all. Maybe that's not enough for it to register an input. Let me go 0.05. Is this working? That is 1 bullet at a time, right? What's annoying me is I'm hearing like bidum, bidum, bidum. Like it sounds like 2 bullets at a time. That might just be an audio glitch and not an actual projectile indicator of the number of projectiles. So this is gonna be tough to count. I'm gonna have to like really just keep on top of it, but let's see how it goes. Okay, here we are. Minigun test. So we're at 24 with the blaster, 70 with the smart cannon. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70. Okay, so the projectiles fired by the tiny cannon and the minigun are essentially the same exact strength. It's just the fire rate that makes the difference. So remember with the smart cannon, we cannot shred through this in one clip. But let's see how many shots does a single clip of a minigun fire. All right, I'm just gonna let her rip and see what happens. Here we go. Wow, just barely. And every single shot has to land. That was crazy. Okay, if you're using energy shields, do not use your standard bullets because they are so weak compared to the shields. This has already been like super useful. Like just this knowledge right here is like, I'm glad I did this before we did any challenges with shields on regular vehicles, because we may have been like, oh, use a smart cannon. And we would have regretted that. So now how about explosive weaponry? How does it handle against explosive weapons? Okay, I'm gonna start with the large cannon. This also has a blast radius. So I could technically hit outside of the shield and it still do damage. But let's see what happens with a direct hit. Here we go. 2? What? 3 shots? 3 shots with a large cannon? Dang. Okay, I was expecting a 1 shot with the immediate regeneration there. That is crazy. And the explosion doesn't go through at all, as you can see. Like, these things are perfectly fine. Let's let it regenerate. That is awesome. All right, now let's try a tank cannon. So 3 shots for the large cannon. A tank cannon, I believe, is the most powerful cannon now. So let's see if it's more or less than 3. I'm gonna say 2 shots. Here we go. There's 1. Oh, no way. This is the fire rate, by the way. I'm holding down the trigger. All right, also 3. So despite the tank cannon being more powerful than the large cannon, the shield it has enough health to take 3 shots of each. I'm expecting then that this gunpowder cannon is going to be the same and also be 3. Gunpowder cannon time. 1. 2. Should be 3. 3. All right, if you are using cannons, then it takes 3 shots. Now, here's the question. Rocket launchers. I think rocket launchers are generally weaker than all of the above. Okay, here we go. There's 1. There's 2. My camera's moving up because it's keep binding to E, which is also up. There's 3, so it is more than 3. 4 rockets. Okay. So, oh, speaking of explosives, how many dynamite? I'm gonna press E to explode the dynamite. All right, so there's 1 and there's 2. So 2 dynamite explosions. I think the blaster might be the best weapon against shields. All right, I got the minigun aimed at the left shield and I have the blaster aimed at the right shield. The goal of this experiment, which is faster to destroy a shield if all the shots hit? The minigun has a longer fire capacity, but has to hit way more shots. So let's see what happens. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Okay, there's an answer there. So if you can really hit your shots, the time to destruction for a minigun is going to outpace the time to destruction for a blaster. Hold on, there's another experiment. That only counts if we're using 1 minigun and 1 blaster, because the blaster runs out of ammo and has to have a slower fire rate before the shield gets broken. But if the blaster can destroy the shield before it runs out of ammo, then the fire rate might be enough to keep up with a minigun. So let's try 2 blasters versus 2 miniguns. All right, here we go. 2 blasters versus 2 miniguns. Will the results change? I don't know which one blew up first. It was a negligible difference, and I think it's worth another test. I think the blasters outpace the minigun if there's more than 1. Let's try 1 more. This time I want to do 3 blasters versus 3 miniguns. I really think that as we increase the number of blasters, the strength of the compounding strength of the projectiles is just going to make it better and better of a weapon compared to the miniguns. So here we go. Yeah, it was way easier to see that time. The blasters are they're just better. I think if you're gonna have at least 2 of a gun, the blaster is gonna be your best bet against the shields. 3 blasters would be better than 3 tank cannons. The reason being is the recharge time on a tank cannon is so long that by the time the tank cannon recharges enough after it destroys the shield, the blasters are already gonna break through and continue shooting. You know, I'm even gonna give, even though the tank cannon is technically stronger, this one, I believe, it takes the same amount of shots, 3 shots to destroy a shield, but it has a shorter reload time. So I'm gonna put this one against the blasters and see which one can cause damage to the underlying creation first. Whoa, whoa. Look at the aim rate on the cannons. Look at this. Look at them aiming. They are so slow compared to the blasters. We're looking for damage to the original creation, past the shields. Here we go. There you go. The miniguns had already destroyed it before the second shot of the large cannons even got out. So even though large cannons started switching their target. All right, so now that we've tested weapons versus shields, now I want to test shields versus weapons. Sounds the same, but it's different. Let me explain. So by now we understand that the way shields work in a battle is once you do enough damage to destroy the shield, there's a certain cooldown time before the shield where you are completely exposed and eventually explodes before the shield regenerates. And then you have a little bit more protection, but it has to keep regenerating to build up its health to protect you against even more shots. Now the question is, if you have more than one shield, once one shield gets destroyed, you have a backup to then tank the shots, and then the other shield will be slowly regenerating during that time. So is it possible to have enough shields layered that this gun can fire indefinitely and never be able to break through because the regeneration of each subsequent layer just keeps on happening? And you know what? I think the answer is no. So here's what I think is the problem with this concept and why it is not going to be as viable or as simple as it sounds. So you do all 24 shots towards this shield. Now you got to do another 24 shots to this shield. And during that time, this outer layer is going to have a cooldown that is counting down. So I'm thinking you're probably going to break through this one as well before this one recharges. Then you're down to this one. Now you got to do 24 shots to this one. So at some point, this first layer is going to recharge while you're shooting, right? But here's the problem. When it recharges, it is not recharging at full health. So it's not like you have to do another 24 shots here. You just got to do like 3, and then you're back to the lowest tier. And then this one's going to recharge, but you only got to do like 3, and then you're back chunking away at the lowest tier. So each original shield that gets broken, it's never going to get back to full strength because it is like, unless there's a system you could do. Oh, this is interesting. I just came up with a way that could solve this problem, but it would require some attention to detail and some on-the-fly maneuvering and having a fancy system here, because essentially ideally what you would want to happen is once this outer layer gets destroyed, you don't want it to just move on to the next layer. You want the outer layer to become the inner layer, because you want it to have a chance to regenerate and build up its health while still being protected. And the way that it is here, it can't happen. And you know what? This actually, there might not be a way to do it. Okay, this is really complicated, but I have all these ideas and we're about to test them. First, let's see just what it's like to try to break through 3 shields. So I'm just gonna hold the button open and we're just gonna see what happens here. Here we go. All right, we broke through the first shield. Now we're starting with the second shield. Second shield's done, here we go. First shield came back, but now it's useless. And we're broken through, and the shields are gone. So let's stack like a whole bunch and see if we can get to a point where the shields actually start regenerating in enough of a sequence to be able to maybe just save us a lot more time. And who knows, maybe there is an invincibility point. All right, it looks like with 8 layers, the default size is just barely big enough to keep this one covered. So this looks so cool. Let's see what this does. All right, here we go. First layer down. Each layer is now going to be slower because we have the recharge rate of the actual weapon. Second layer down. So we know the third layer, we know the first layer comes back. There we go, before the third layer goes away. Now the second layer should come back. There we go. And now the first layer should come back. Immediately got destroyed, and then that was the third layer. Now the second layer should come back again. There it is. So they're only taking like 1 shot. There we go. So we just have a, yeah, they just immediately come back on and get destroyed. So you can see now we're breaking through at a slower rate because of the regeneration of each subsequent or each previous shield, but we're still firing at a faster rate than the shields can regenerate. All right, we are at the last layer. And there's more shields trying to regenerate, but you can see they are not regenerating fast. They're not regenerating fast enough to save this last shield. So eventually, there we go. Eventually, we finally break through. But you can see how much time that saves. So shield layering is a thing that can be useful. So here's 12, and now I'll modify the width. All right, so maximum width. Oh, we can go way more than 12 then. All right, there we go. So now this is the maximum width. And with that, you can see the last shield is barely covering the first shield. So we have 19. This is definitely going to take some time, but let's spend that time and find out if we can actually get all the way through these shields. Or is the 19 shields constantly regenerating going to keep blocking enough that it's never going to get to that last layer? Here we go. All right, I believe we have broken through 12 layers now. There are 7 layers currently intact, and this 7th layer, you can see how few shots it's taking because the regeneration of the other ones keep interrupting it just for that brief enough period to allow every other one to like just pop in and block a bullet here and there. But we just broke through the 7th or the 12th layer. We're on the 6th layer. The 6th layer just took some damage. It takes a lot. Like, it might not be able to make it through because look, the 6th layer is not taking any more damage. Oh, there it goes. Took some damage now. But then everything else just regenerates. After I get through that 13th layer, like, is the 14th layer going to be taking any damage? Because now I feel like the amount of layers that are regenerating just keep catching the bullets. And the regeneration is so consistent. I think it can regenerate in the amount of time that it takes before it takes damage again. So you need at least 14 layers to be immune to a single blaster. So now I want to try out I've just been holding the button down, just firing constantly, and you can see it's regenerating. The bullets have to pause and then recharge, and then pause and then recharge. So if I take a little bit of a break and then fire, no, that did not help. Take a break, then fire. I let the other ones. Oh, that actually might be a more suitable method. Maybe, maybe not. No, it gives everything else more time to recharge and it just blocks more. We have an invincible creation right here when it comes to a single blaster. Obviously, you add more blasters, you probably need to double your shield count. How many shields does it take to become invincible against a single blaster? 14 shields in this system. Now, I think there's a way to do this more efficiently that requires some fancy mechanisms and some movement. I've got this crazy idea on how to dramatically reduce the number of shields you need, but it is going to also dramatically complicate things. All right, so here's my idea. Let's say you got a shield facing this way, and you got 3 shields facing like this. So they are essentially encompassing each other. Now, when this first shield gets destroyed, the second shield then starts taking the damage while the first shield has a cooldown. Now, the issue is when the first shield comes back online at low health, it is back out in front taking all the damage. And what you want is for your stronger shields that have not been destroyed yet to continue taking damage while it regenerates health. So what needs to happen is once your first shield gets destroyed, you need it to shift to the back, and it needs to become your last shield. It'd be much easier if it was just 2 shields, but we've already found out that a single blaster can break through 2 shields before the first one regenerates. So I think minimum 3 shields. We're probably gonna need more than 3 shields as well. So there's going to be 1 front shield. So you can see this shield right here. It encompasses 80% of the front area, and there is a chance that the other shields could take damage, but it's mostly the front of your craft or whatever this is gonna be eaten by that main shield that's out in front. So then the idea is, once the shield gets destroyed, we're going to just rotate this thing 90 degrees while also having all of these rotates to face the same direction. And we are essentially replacing which is our front damage taking shield. Now, hopefully 4 is going to be enough for this because dealing with other numbers is going to get a lot more complicated, but let's just see how this goes. Now, I'm realizing the programming of this actually isn't as simple as I was expecting either, because what I wanted to do is rotate 90 degrees and stop, and then I want to press the button and rotate it 90 degrees in the same direction and stop. All right, so I cannot get perfection, but I think I can get good enough. Listen, it doesn't have to work great, it just has to work, and for the purpose of testing this concept, just a proof of concept here, I think this is going to work good enough. So we're basically gonna shoot 1 shield till it breaks. When the shield breaks, we're going to press the button, and then it's gonna swap which shield is at the front, and we're gonna keep going like that. And I think a good way to test this is going to be to have different colored shields. So it's gonna go red, gonna go blue, then green, then yellow. All right, so when I click, it's just gonna toggle the gun on, so it'll be constantly firing, and I just gotta monitor when the shields break, and let's see if this concept, how it works. Here we go. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, I messed it up already. Don't worry, I think I got it. Here we go. Oh, I keep getting to hold the button down until it stops, but this still works. See, now the red shield is back, but it has time to recharge. Not enough time, but time. See, all right. Well, all right. Not enough. You know what? Maybe we stack. We got to break through 2 shields, and then we rotate. All right, here we go. All right, I got to wait till it breaks through 2 shields now. And that's good because it takes 2 shields before the first one even starts regenerating. So now we're on blue. And then before this one gets destroyed, the first red one comes back. There we go. Green one destroyed. Now we're on to yellows. I think the reds have had a full chance of recovery. There we go. Now we're back at the reds. So I'm pretty sure this is infinite shielding right here. As long as you keep rotating them. I think we've done it with this. I think it might be possible with 6 shields, but how do you organize 6 shields? So I got 6 of them, and you can see they all rotate good enough. So let's give it a try. Starting off with the white shield. Here we go. All right, white shield is broken. I'm moving on to yellow shield. The purple one took a little bit of damage there, unintentionally, but it's what we're dealing with. All right, now we're moving on to orange, it looks like. There we go, now blue. So white shield is back, generating some health. So the question is, will it generate enough health to be full health by the time we get back to it? And I'm leaning towards yes here. There we go. Yeah. I think this is good. 6 shields is what you need. Look at this. Yeah, I do not think this blaster is going to be able to get through. So yeah, I mean, it's not an elegant solution. That it's not a practical way to organize your shields. If you really want that optimal layering of shields, having a system like this to be managing the whole time is just going to be a nightmare to deal with. So I don't know if there's any way you could automate this. There's no real way to detect automatically when a shield gets destroyed, as far as I know. And this is also a massive undertaking as far as building this into a vehicle that is also then going to protect your entire vehicle. And also, this only works against 1 blaster. So as soon as your enemy has another blaster, all of this is not going to work. So here, let's just see what that's like. Let me just go ahead and put 2 blasters and see how much worse this is for effectiveness. All right, we're already through 1. Yeah, this is so much faster. There's no way. No way. First shield just came back. We're already on our way through to it. And there you go. There you go. It's hopeless. It is hopeless with 2 blasters. So the invincibility question is, there are very, very, very particular circumstances that could allow you to become invincible. And none of it is practically usable in an actual Trailmakers battle, but at least now we understand how shields work better, and this was kind of a fun mechanism just to mess around with and just see what we could accomplish. And we can accomplish invincibility against a single blaster with only 6 shields. So if you guys have any other crazy experiments you'd like me to try out, or if you want to understand a little bit about how something may or may not work with some fun experiments, then I'm down for that. Let me know down in the comments below what you'd like to see on the channel. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.